Hello the internet, my name is Dain Miller. Let's make a movie. Welcome to the very first episode of Film Army's Filmmaking 101. In this series we're going to show you everything you need to know, from the scripting and idea process, to pre-production, to shooting, to post-production, to having the product in your hand at the very end of it all. The goal is to show that nowadays there's no excuse not to make movies if you want to and you are passionate about it. We are going to show you all of our little tiny secrets on how we shoot short films with virtually no budget. So if you've ever wanted to make a movie but you didn't know how or where to start, we've got you covered. Today's lesson, and the very first lesson, is probably, I would say, the most important. Today we're going to be talking about the spark. Now what is a spark, you might be asking? Well, it's not necessarily the entire final idea of the film, but it is that sort of little ignition to the project that gets everything going. Without the spark, you don't have an idea, you don't have a story, and therefore you don't have a movie. So today, hopefully, we are going to figure out what your spark is. It's tough coming up with an original idea. I mean, just look at Hollywood. Everything nowadays is a sequel or a remake or a reboot of something we've already seen 100 times. The thing you need to realize is you don't need a 100% groundbreaking, genre-defining, massive idea in order to make a film. You just need an idea that you believe in. Because once you believe in an idea, that's when personality traits start coming out. You start giving it original characters, original spins. So what you just need to do is come up with an idea that you think you can relate to and that other people would relate to because of it. Now you might be thinking, I have no ideas. How do I come up with one? Whenever the creative well has run dry for me, there are a few little tricks that I like to use, hopefully to restore some of those creative juices. I feel like I just use two liquid analogies that don't really mesh together. If I'm getting the itch to make a movie and I don't really have any ideas, the first thing I do is sit down and just absorb as much art as I possibly can. I'll listen to some new music or some of my favorite albums. I'll get on Spotify or Songza or any of these free streaming music sites and start listening to new music, because you never know when you hear that song and you're just like, alright, okay. I can't tell you how many of my ideas and screenplays have started with just the idea of a scene set to a specific song, and I've built from there. So music is a great way of getting inspiration for a tone, or a genre, or a theme. And that is a really great place to start. Another thing to do is, obviously, watch some movies. Watch your favorite movie. Watch a new movie. Go to the theater. There's nothing like the experience of sitting in a movie theater watching a new movie for the first time. Every time I go to the movies, I come out just ready to shoot something new. And you might not have an idea from it, but it's that passion and it's that fire in your belly that kind of gets you going. Find the movies that speak to you and rewatch them and figure out why they worked for you. Is it the cinematography? Is it the story? Is it the soundtrack? What is it about those movies that gets you going? And find out if there's something that gets you going in the exact same way. And then try to find something that replicates that feeling for you, but in an original way. Hello, cat. So you've watched a bunch of movies, listened to a bunch of music, you're all fired up, but you still don't really have an idea. The next place I like to go is classic mythology, places like Roman mythology, or Greek, or Norse. Damn it, cat! If you look at modern cinema, you can probably find a mythology that links together. Whether it's intentional or not, mythology is sort of like the building blocks of storytelling. It's got all the major themes: revenge, love, family, war. Everything you want in a movie is rooted somewhere along the course of time in mythology. Just take a day and start going through some mythology. Just reread up on some of it, because a lot of it is actually just really cool. And if you find a story that you're like, that's really damn cool, try to translate it into a more modern sense. Figure out what the themes and the motifs of the story are, and put it into something that matters to you. If you're still struggling a little bit while you're on Wikipedia looking up mythology, hit the random article button. I know it may sound strange, but Wikipedia is a great source of inspiration. It has more articles than you'll ever be able to go through. So search a really broad subject like science, and then you can branch off into space, medicine, diseases, physics, all sorts of crazy things. Then you can get to theoretics, and then all of a sudden you have an idea. Hey, what if this wasn't just a theory? What if someone figured out how to make time travel work? Or if someone figured out clean, renewable, infinite energy? What would happen in the world if that was the case? And just get a notepad and just start writing all these questions down, and sooner or later something's going to strike you and be like, yeah, I'd like to investigate that further. And then, just keep researching it. And finally there's the old saying, write what you know. And arguably, the thing you know the most is yourself. Start thinking about your life. Start thinking about your childhood, your family, your friends, the people that you've met and lost, the people that you wish you would meet in the future. Because chances are, if you're asking those questions of yourself, that there are other people in the world asking the same questions. Hopefully, now that you've listened to a bunch of music, watched a bunch of movies, researched some articles on Wikipedia, read some mythology stories, and looked at your own personal life, posed some hypotheticals, hopefully, at this point, you've got an idea. If you don't, keep doing it. There's no real way to rush creativity. Just live your life, and every now and then something will strike you, and you'll just have an idea. Sometimes you'll be in the shower, and you just get that great idea. Sometimes you'll be grocery shopping, and you'll overhear someone having a conversation. You can't predict where your next great idea is going to come from, but you can't help it along. So don't stress out about it. Don't try to force it. Just let it happen. The best kind of creativity is creativity that comes from organic experiences. So just let your brain make the connections, let it happen organically, and don't ever rush it. Wait until you have that great idea, that spark that's going to set your entire project on fire. In a good way, like not destroying the project with fire, but, you know, like a rocket ship, there's fire under it, and it's shooting upwards. I'm really not good at analogies today. I'm going to let you go figure out your spark, because the next episode, we're going to start talking about story structure and character development. If you want to follow the series, be sure to check out filmarmy.ca or subscribe to my channel. I'll be answering any questions you have on Twitter at WakeUpFast or in the comment section below. I'm here to make sure that the movie you want to make gets made. So follow along, stick with us, we're going to make it happen. We'll see you next time on the internet. In the meantime, be safe and be kind. I can't tell you how many of my screenplays and ideas have started from just